I am live. I'm going to go post the link to this live session on our website, the DenverGuitarOrchestra.com. It's where you'll find sheet music and all the good stuff that we do. And if you are wandering the internet and happen to run across this video, just know it's a work session for a version of Hotel California that I wrote last week. And we're going to figure out if we can play it and how many mistakes I made in it and all that good stuff. And so feel free to fast forward while I get things posted up onto the website, and then see if this piece of music has any interest to you. It takes a little while for people to get loaded into the room. You usually get a very small crowd for these broadcasts, which is fine. It gives me a chance to work on my stuff too. So there's that. And let's go down and make sure that this link is working properly, which it is. There I am. And I'm going to keep moving forward with that. If you log in and you happen to be live, can you let me know if the sound sounds good at your location? And then I can make adjustments if necessary. Okay, everything's posted. 2:30. We'll wait 1 minute to see if anybody else wants to log in. And then let's see. Brother, who cares? It's the world is crazy right now. I'm got all these weird news stories popping up, yeah, of course we got the blue lives matter. Of course, because that's what this whole thing is about. Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, so let's get started. 2:31. Normally I have a fancier shirt on, but I forgot to put it on today. Put on a t-shirt. So that's what you get. I want to go through the sheet music again. I was playing through it earlier, and I'm actually getting where I hate it a little less. This is definitely not my favorite song, but it is. It's been kind of fun to work on. The introduction, I think, is still got, and the jury's still out on whether I'm going to keep the introduction the way it is. But I know for sure that I played measure 9 to the end today. It's working okay. So if you're hanging out up here in the widget, thanks for being here. I'm going to proceed as if the sound is perfect and you can hear everything and all that's going well. And then if anybody needs to clarify whether the sound is good or not, then let me know. Also, fair warning, I am going to sing some today just to work on chords, and that's never a positive experience for any of us, but it is something that I'm going to do today. I'm going to pull my sheet music up here a little closer. Let me do this. Let me slide this guy over just a little bit. Like that. Let's get this microphone placed a little better. Maybe right about there. Okay. And then get in good playing position. Let's see if I can get me less junk out of the way. What's all this stuff? What's this? Well, that's the other microphone. Okay, there. How about that? Now it looks like we are fancy. Okay. Hotel California. We're going to go directly to the lyrics section, measure 9. Big thing is to talk about B minor to the F sharp motion. Hey, Elizabeth. Good. Elizabeth says I sound good. Therefore, I do. Elizabeth knows a little bit about sound. So at measure 9, and then to measure 11, you're going to be doing just that simple little motion. And it's the same motion that you would make from A minor to E. that's the motion we're making, but we're just using a bar chord, and then obviously we have to use different fingers for that. Okay. And then notice it measure 12, and it happens twice in the song, where you're going to have your major chord on, and then you're just going to lift up pinky to get the 7th chord. Okay, so I'd like to run through the chords for the whole song, top to bottom, just see how see those places where we're doing well and where we're not doing well. I'm going to start the first section just with a plain old simple thumb strum. Then I think the second section we'll do this, and then the third section we might try an arpeggio and see how it sounds. I think that this song doesn't lend itself particularly well to arpeggio picking. It's got too deep and dark of a feeling to it to be adding that in. Okay, so let's start with a thumb strum. Maybe you start with whatever right hand technique you're working on these days. 1, 2, ready, play. Strum on a dark. I'm playing the wrong chord. There's the chord I need. Okay, I'm playing the F sharp 7 from measure 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. On a dark desert highway, 3, 4. Cool wind in my hair, 2, 3, 4. Strum, warm smell of colitas, 3, 4. Rising up through the air, 3, 4. Strum, up ahead in the distance, 3, 4. D. I saw a shimmering light, 2, 3, 4. Strum. My head grew heavy and my sights grew dim. F sharp. Had to stop for the night, 2, 3, 4. B minor. There she stood in the doorway, 3, 4. F sharp. I heard the mission bell ring, A. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell, 3, 4. G. Then she lit up a candle, 3, 4. D. And she showed me the way, 2, 3, 4. There were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the first section. That's section A, your first verse, if you will, and plays right into 40. I think all of the chords work just fine. My singing is atrocious, but the chords themselves make perfect sense. And the reason that this is a bit challenging is the Eagles actually play this capoed at 7, and we're playing it in open position. And so throughout building this piece of sheet music, I've been worried that the chords were not exactly feeling right, but I got it, what I believe absolutely works here. So I don't sense any significant challenges with that. Okay, so that was just a simple thumb 1, 2, 3, 4 strum, just double checking it. So let's try as we go through let's try doing this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you pick the strings that make sense to you, whether you're going to play the darker ones or the brighter ones. I have this tendency to grab just the middle ones because they seem to always work out just fine. Welcome to, okay, so that's what I tend to do, but maybe we'll grab the higher ones this time. Okay, we're going to count in 4, and then you get a chord, and then and then we'll sing 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Hotel California, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. 1, 2, 3. There's plenty of room at the Hotel California, Any time of year, you can find it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor. Okay, so that's that section right there is the chorus, and it only comes up twice in the whole song, which is very fascinating. So, and I honestly, I think a little bit of plucking through there might make sense, but I also think a thumb strum really works. Kind of a dark song overall, and so as more that we can get these darker strings in to play to help us along, probably better. Okay, let's go to measure 57. I'm going to get this B minor back on. Okay. Probably go with the thumb strum here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, strum. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. 3, 4, 1. She got a Mercedes Benz. 4. She got a lot of pretty boys that she calls friends. 3, 4, G. How they dance in the courtyard. 3, 4. Sweet summer sweat. 2, 3, 4, 1. Some dance to remember. 3, 4, 1. Some dance to forget. 2, 3, D minor. So I called up the captain. Through 3. Whoops, I missed my chord change. Please bring me my wine. 2, 3, 4. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. 3, 4, G. And still those voices are calling from far away. 2, 3, 4. Wake you up in the middle of the night just to hear them say 2, 3, 4. Now your note there should say to number 41, not to 33. So let's go back to 41. Take a minute to get you back there. And now, last time I went through and I was plugging it this way. This time I'm going to try it this way to see whether it sounds any better. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Strum. Welcome to the Hotel California. 1, 2, 1. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. 1, 2, 3. They're living it up at the Hotel California. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibi. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then your note there should say to number 89. Okay, so you finished the chorus the second time. Now let's jump up to 89. And I got a big old coda that I wrote in there so I could find it a little easier. Okay, what a nice surprise. Bring your alibi. So you're going to go back to this B minor at 89. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Mirrors on the ceiling. 3, 4, 1. Drink champagne on ice. 2, 3, 4, 8. We are all just prisoners here. E. Of our own device. 2, 3, 4, G. And in the master's chambers. 3, 4. They gathered for the feast. 4, E minor. Stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't Relax, said the night man. We are programmed to receive 2, 3, 4. So you can check out anytime you like. But you can never leave 2, 3, 4. And then the next section will be that arpeggios at the end. So you're coming out of this, F sharp, and then you got to get to 10, 11, and 12. And those 9s and 11s, so just a little shift here. And so that pinky goes on there. Let me try that again. So I didn't do it right there. I'm giving, for some reason, I'm wanting to add in a little bit of a pause between measures 121 and 122, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be consistent. So from the beginning there again, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Bum. Now you go 9s, 10s, and 11, 2 9s and 10s. I am finding that if I do this chord upside down, so normally we do it here, but I'm finding if I do it upside down and put my index finger on bottom, middle on top, and ring there, then I'm able to slide down to the next chord that I need. So basically, I'm keeping this D minor shape intact, but I'm just using it way up here, okay? And so then when I get to 9, 10, 9, I'm going to do this, which feels upside down because it is, but I'm able to move to the other chords more effectively. So let's go from 124, ready, play. Seven, 8, 7. Three, 3, 5, 4. Now this is different. This is, you're actually going to grab that shape there. Okay. No, you're not. Duh. Still the B minor shape. 6, 6, 7, 6. Really important to get that 9 clean, because then you're going to come back to your B minor. That's an important moment. I've added, this is the last note. I don't think I probably aren't going to do that. That seems like the best way to end it. Okay. I'm probably going to get rid of that too. That seems kind of dumb. All right. So those are the chords. I think the chords make sense. The ending is good enough to let people know the song is over. So then the last thing I like to do today, again, is play through the melody, make sure the melody makes sense. I played through it half a dozen times today already, and I think that it's making sense. And then we're not meeting Thursday night, by the way. I sent an email out to that regard. We normally meet Thursday nights to work on this from a tough acts perspective, but we're not going to meet this week because I got a meeting that's in the way. So this week we'll have, so on Friday of this week, we will play the tough acts section of this. So now that we know the chords are working, and we played the melody last Friday, so today we'll play the melody again, and then next Friday let's hopefully get where we can put the whole thing together with tough acts. And those of you guys that are here, if you will let me know if you have some other fingering ideas or some of the, it's pretty challenging, that tough acts section. So let's just play through the melody. Again, we'll start at measure 9. The intro is just one of those things you have to memorize. So and whether you want to do that or not, I don't know. From the top, and I'll try to sing the words so we get a sense of what the plucking should feel like. Mostly going to be plucking a lot of twos and threes through this whole thing. Occasionally a five. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. On a dark desert highway. 3, 4, 1. Cool wind in my hair. 2, 3, 4, 1. Warm smell of colitas. 3, 4, 1. Rising up through the air. 3, 4, 1. Up ahead in the distance. 3, 4, 1. I saw a shimmering light. 2, 3, 4, 1. My eyes grew heavy and my sight grew dim. 3, 4. Rest. I had to stop for the night. 2, 3, 4, 1. There she stood in the doorway. 3, 4, 1. I heard the mission bell ring. 3, 4, 1. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. 4, 1. Then she lit up a candle. 3, 4, 1. And she showed me the way. 2, 3, 4, 1. There were voices down the corridor. 3, 4, 1. I thought I heard them say 2, 3, 4. Rest. Welcome to the Hotel California. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. There's plenty of room at the Hotel California. 4, 1, 2, 3. Any time of year, any time of year, you can find it here. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Her mind is stiff. Let me start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Her mind is Tiffany twisted. 3, 4, 1. She got a Mercedes Benz. 3, 4, 1. She got a lot of pretty, pretty boys. Rest. That she calls friends. 3, 4, 1. How they dance in the courtyard. 3, 4. Rest. Sweet summer sweat. 2, 3, 4, 1. Some dance to remember. 3, 4, 1. Some dance to forget. 2, 3, 4, 1. So I called up the captain. 3, 4, 1. Please bring me my wine. 2, 3, 4, 1. We haven't had that spirit here since 1969. 3, 4, 1. And still those voices are coming from far away. 2, 3, 4, 1. Wake you up in the middle of the night. 2, 3, 1. Just to hear them say 2, 3, 4. And then you're supposed to go back to the chorus. We're not going to do that today because we don't need to. Let's go on to measure 89. So we go back to chorus, play the chorus, and then we come back to 89. Let's go from 89, please. 1, 2. Let me get my positional playing on. My fingers are all over here pretending they know what they're doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rest. Mirrors on the ceiling. 3, 4. Rest. Pink champagne on ice. 2, 3, 4, rest. We are all just prisoners here. 2, 4, rest. Of our own, let's see, of our own, of our own, of our own device. 2, 3, 4, rest. You in the master's chambers. 3, 4. They gathered for the feast. For the feast. I don't know if I like that note. Rest. They stabbed it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. 2, 3, 4, rest. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. 2, 3, 4, rest. I had to get a passage back to the place I was before. 2, 3, 4, rest. Relax, said the night man. We are rest. Programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. And then we go through that arpeggio at the end. So that's what we're doing. A few melody notes in there that I'm going to question and probably go through and maybe work on a little bit this weekend. See if I can't get mine cleaned up a little bit, where at least it makes more sense in my head. I think for the most part, the majority of the notes are dead on exactly what you'd want. So then it's just a matter of putting it together tough uke wise. Seems like the tough acts section of this, because it's basically repetitive. The rhythm changes measure to measure, but the chord structure and the basic melody pattern is pretty predictable. That it's not as much work as it appears on the surface. Like you got 9 pages of music here, but there's a definite overall pattern that just keeps repeating over and over and over, which is nice in terms of getting the song under your belt. So this week, what I'm hoping you'll do, just work on the tough uke or tough acts, the chord melody line as much as possible. And then I don't think the ending of this is particularly challenging, but I do think the intro is quite challenging. And so I'm going to put a little bit more effort into that, making sure the notes are what we want, or at least I'm pretty sure the notes are what we want. It's the fingering that's at issue here. And then, so on Friday when we get together, we will play this thing, Tough Acts. And yeah, it's a lot. Elizabeth says, wow. It's a whole lot of stuff. And again, it's a lot. It feels like probably a lot more than it really is. And I do think when you start breaking it down by, all right, yeah, that chord pattern is pretty predictable. Yeah, you got a B minor going to an F sharp. But that gets where you're pretty much happening, where it's pretty predictable. And then the melody, because of the words and the melody are pretty, the melody's predictable, but the words that go with it change from section to section. So you're always trying to get it. You almost have to have the lyrics memorized in order to make the instrumental part of this work correctly. And I certainly don't have them memorized because I don't spend a lot of time on this song, but it would definitely help the playing out. And so when you're in a situation like that where you really need to be hearing the lyrics in your head instead of counting it out, you'll be a lot more successful that way. And then it'll just make playing tough acts easier. So those are my thoughts on that today. Coming up this week, I forgot, I'm supposed to pull up the DGO website and let you know what I think is coming up of importance. So that will be our last study session on Hotel California till Friday. On Friday, we'll really try to dive into that tough acts and see if we can't get it to work. Tomorrow, down by the riverside, I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield. Down by the riverside. That's a level 3 song, public domain, with plenty of new chords and lots of opportunity to try different right hand techniques. We'll sing that tomorrow in this time slot. On Wednesday, we're going to do Drunken Sailor, my favorite 2-chord song in the world. And we will probably spend very little time plucking out the melody and a whole bunch of time talking about which 2 chords are the best 2 chords for that one. And then on Thursday, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, the epic. Give you a chance to play the 10th and 11th frets. No meeting Thursday night. Again, we won't meet Thursday night. So we've got Hotel California now for all of this week and all of next week. So we should have plenty of time to turn it into something worthwhile. And then on Friday, of course, we'll play over everything again. So that's the plan for the week. Hopefully you guys can stop in and take a little guitar lesson. And I'm going to tape it all together. What I'll probably do, Elizabeth, is we'll probably agree to stop every 2 pages for a page turn. So I don't worry about taping it all together and having it spread all over your music room. That's not going to work. So let's just agree that we'll play 2 pages, we'll stop, we'll turn the page, and play 2 more pages. Okay, so if you'll set your book up in 1, 2, and 3, 4, that's probably the way to go. And I'll send a note out to the group that that's what we're going to do. We're just going to agree that we're not up on stage at Red Rocks quite yet, and it's perfectly fine to stop, turn the page, and move on. And if we ever do this in the orchestra, then we'll problem solve around that at this point. I know one other person was concerned about that. So we'll just agree 2 pages, stop, turn the page, count in, and play 2 more pages. So just set up for 2 pages at a time. Because I got this little footpad thing, I didn't give you enough opportunity to turn the page, and I apologize. So that's it for today. Short lesson. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I will see all of you guys hopefully tomorrow at same time, and we'll tackle Down by the Riverside. Have a great night, and I'm going to end the stream. Be good. Stay inside.